Hello and welcome. I'm Master Lama Rasaji, and this is our Monday edition of Rasaji Speaks. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, worshiping your God, spending time with your family, being blessings to people who cannot be that kind of blessing to themselves. It's kind of the motto here at thecircleofchi.com. What is our title today? Our title for the Monday edition is Redeeming Time, Embracing God's Second Chance. Redeeming Time, Embracing God's Second Chance. Well, it's an interesting concept. So if you've ever been to India, then you know that a lot of Indians believe in the concept of reincarnation. In other words, that the soul and the spirit is immortal to them. And it travels through many, many lifetimes, through their dharma, through their path. And there's reference made about it in all the religious books of the world. But the common person who's born in India, that's raised up in the Hindu faith, knows that when that soul leaves, there's a good chance that that soul will manifest, and usually not far away. One of my favorite stories of reincarnation was the one shared by Sri Tapas Viju in the book Maharaji. And that's where his son, who had passed away earlier in his life, when he returned from the spoils of war, ends up in his later life returning as a student of him, as he's now become this incredible, holy man. And he's aware of it. In other words, he manifests himself and finds his father again later in that life. And you might say, how in the world is that possible? Coded in every Sharat is this idea of transformation, of the butterfly going, from the cocoon, looking inspiring. But when we kind of fell from grace many times before, the concept that we could not get it all done in one incarnation poised what they referred to as the Akashic record, which is the recording of souls' journey for eons of time. The most basic person has lived well over 100 times. Some think thousands, literally thousands of years. The Buddha said the will of 84, 8,400,000 years could a person reincarnate. God didn't create the concept of reincarnation, but he allowed it to happen by some advanced beings. He saw it as a chance of mercy and of grace, and that we could reflect and remember why we originally came here, what we originally came to do, and what will we do with the knowledge and experience once we become conscious of that. The other redeeming quality I want to run by is a Judean Christian concept. Jesus said that we must be able to forgive those who have aggressed us or mistrusted us or behaved in a way of a lower vibration in order to totally embrace the Heavenly Father's unconditional love. The Buddha, Siddhartha, was quoted to saying that the concept of forgiving yourself And starting again was the first major step in enlightenment. So in Judean Christian, Jesus is saying, forgive to love. And the Buddha is saying, forgive for enlightenment. The core is forgive. That love and mercy and forgiveness and those three religions must be at the core of who we are as an ideal human person. Whether you believe in many lives, a few lives, or just one life, looks like they share the concept of forgive and then move forward and move on. I was told years ago about a funny story of an Italian veteran race car driver who was getting ready to race in the famous Le Mans. And in this race, they normally have a pilot and a co-pilot. And usually the pilot is a veteran and the co-pilot, not necessarily a rookie, but usually is inferior to training. But if something happened to the pilot, they could take over and finish the race. The concept is he gets in, he starts his engine, revs it up. He rolls his window down, he reaches out, and he grabs the rearview mirror to the side of him and tears it out. Then he has his co-pilot to roll the window down, and he does the same thing. The last thing that he does is that he reaches over the dash and grabs the rearview mirror in the side. By now, the co-pilot, much junior to the veteran pilot, looks at him totally bamboozled. Eyes as big as saucers, don't know what he's going to tear out of the car next. He looks left and he looks right, and he looks up, he looks square at the co-pilot and he says, you know what? What's behind us is not important. What's behind us is not important. It's obvious whether you believe in reincarnation or even believe in the cause and effect of karma. It travels with our soul throughout incarnations. One thing is very clear. By the mediatrix of all religions, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Krishna, forgive, let go, and move forward. And that changes everything. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Rasaji Speaks. Baraka Bashai, may the blessings be to you and your glorious family. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Don't be late. God bless you all.